Welcome. हेलो, वेलकम अगेन। और आज जो मैच है ना, एक टीम है कोलकाता जो पिछले मैच में जिनको हार मिली थी, और दूसरी तरफ है पंजाब जो एक बड़ी जीत के साथ आ रही है। तो एक तो है विजय रथ पे सवार, और दूसरी के सामने होगी एक बड़ा सवाल कि क्या वो मैच जीतेंगे। बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में है प्रांतिक, जो सिंगापुर से हमें ज्वाइन किए हैं। मोस्ट वेलकम प्रांतिक। जयदीप
Thank
मुखर्जी जो
you.
ईडन गार्डन में है, और वेदा कृष्णमूर्ति जो कर्नाटका से, बैंगलोर से हमारे साथ जुड़ी हैं। हम करेंगे इस मैच पर चर्चा। सबसे पहले आऊंगी प्रांतिक आपके पास। एक टीम है पंजाब, जिन्होंने हराया था आरसीबी को। एक 205 का वो टोटल चेस किया था, और दूसरी तरफ केके आ रहा है जो आरसीबी से ही हार हार के आई थी। तो कॉमन फैक्टर रहेगा आरसीबी। वेदा, ध्यान रखना इस बात पे। पहले आती प्रांतिक के पास।
No, thank you, Rima ji. Thank you for having me on the show. Absolutely. I mean, देखिए, KKR, it was disappointing. In Singapore, as Jadid was saying, जब तक मैच खत्म होता है, it's obviously quite late. So when I woke up, I was very sure कि, हम जीतेंगे. But obviously, batting was really, I mean, quite poor. Obviously, no two ways. But I think जहाँ पे I was quite pleased कि bowling में, I think, today I would definitely say KKR's bowling is very strong on paper. Russell ji खेल रहे कि नहीं, I hope one of the team is out, but that's going to be a bit of a concern because of the injury. But I think on this particular game, with Rabada coming back, this is going to be a tougher game, but heart still beats for KKR. अभी चर्चा होगी, but I'm still rooting. KKR will make a
ओह,
good, strong comeback today against Punjab.
हार्ट स्टिल बीट फॉर केकेआर। वेदा, इस लाइन पे थोड़ा ध्यान देंगे। लेकिन एक नाम और लिया है प्रांतिक ने, रबाडा। बहुत बड़ा बूस्ट है वो पंजाब के लिए। ऑलरेडी एक उस बैटिंग में ना एक्सक्लूसिव बैटर है, उसमें फायर वर्क है, उसमें मतलब बहुत पावर है उसमें। अगर आप बॉलिंग में रबाडा को ऐड कर दो, तो आज कौन सी टीम निकल के आ सकती है? क्या देखेंगे हम स्पेशल आज पंजाब की तरफ से?
Well, Punjab actually did really pretty good job in the auction, and having Rabada is a big boost for their bowling lineup with Harshdeep Singh bowling as well as he's bowling. I think it's amazing. Just tarike se the wicket is playing, no, it looks really good, and someone who can bowl consistently at 145 plus and bit of an outswing what Rabada is known for. I think it'll be amazing to watch. And we did see Venkatesh Iyer struggle for short balls against RCB, so we might get that bumper going in the first couple of overs.
न्यूज आई है अभी कि केकेआर वन द टॉस एंड इलेक्टेड टू फील्ड फर्स्ट। जयदीप, करेक्ट डिसीजन? क्योंकि वानखेड़े में मैच है, और रबाडा स्टार्टिंग में बॉल नहीं करेंगे। एक पॉजिटिव कह सकते हैं केकेआर के लिए।
This has been the template, Rimaji, as we've seen. We've spoken about this every evening when we've chatted with all of us together. That the due factor, the fact that what number to chase, whatever is happening up front. So this is quite. I think this will change as the games go along. I think towards the second half there will be some matches where people will be wanting to bat first when the wickets are more tired and conducive for spin and all that. But having said that, I think after a long time the Punjab team are looking strong. They've not looked strong, but even on paper now they're looking strong. See, one thing is looking strong on paper. There's another thing that going and performing. But at least they're looking at par with any team, which has not happened for Punjab in a long time. That's the reason why they've won a few matches. They've upset few games. David Miller ने outstanding कुछ कर दिया, ये outstanding कुछ उसके ऊपर. But as a team, they didn't have the firepower to compete with the best day in and day out, the Mumbais, the Chennais, the Bangalore, the Kolkata, the ones which were balanced teams, strong teams. So now at the end of it all, this auction, they've been able to get a team together. See, we know that Lucknow has done it, but Lucknow is a new franchise. Punjab has been there from day one. And in spite of that, I think this is the first time where they can look at the squad and say, we can compete with anybody. Then comes form and everything else that goes without saying on a given day. I think this is going to be a really even contest. I think Punjab on paper are stronger than KKR.
और ऐसा पहली बार हुआ है, जैसे कि आपने कहा बिल्कुल सही। और पिछले आईपीएल की कहानी दोहराऊं तो हमेशा प्लेइंग 11 में बदलाव होते नजर आते थे। वो स्टेबिलिटी नहीं दिखती थी, कॉम्बिनेशन बदलते रहते थे। लेकिन इस बार उनके पास वो स्टेबिलिटी भी है, वो स्क्वाड भी है जो ऑक्शन में उन्होंने पिक किया था। फैंटास्टिक उनका ऑक्शन रहा था। लेकिन आज एक बदलाव है केकेआर में। प्रांतिक, आपके पास आती हूँ। शिवम मावी आए हैं। इससे पहले 5 बॉलर के साथ मैच खेल रहे थे, लेकिन अब शायद प्रांतिक का शायद नेटवर्क इशू है। वेदा, मैं आपके पास आती हूँ। एक बदलाव है, शिवम मावी को लेके आए हैं, बॉलिंग में स्ट्रेंथन किया है। इन प्लेस ऑफ शेल्डन जैक्सन। मुझे लगता नहीं ज़्यादा उनकी गलती थी, लेकिन ये सही डिसीजन कह सकते हैं क्योंकि पहले बॉलिंग ले रहे हैं, 6 बॉलर से आपको खेलना होगा। रसल थोड़ा-सा इंजर्ड थे, सोर उनका शोल्डर था। राइट मूव?
Yeah, because हमने देखा था, like we saw in the last game with Russell not being 100%, there was an issue for them to finish the overs. We were wondering who's going to bowl the 19th overs, who's going to bowl the 20th over. Because the game got so close, it was a low scoring game. They used up all their bowlers up front because they wanted to get the game till the end. But considering the game, how it is going about, it's not about just bowling first. I think even when you're bowling second, you need that extra cushion if someone can come and chip in with a couple of overs, so that there's, if one guy is having a bad day, you can just as a team cover it up. So I think in that way, I like the template of it. Sheldon Jackson was pretty good behind the stump. He did really well. Unlucky that he is going to miss out, but at the same time, one mistake, and the margin of errors are so less for the new guys. You can't really, they don't want to depend on them because they don't know what they're capable of. And sometimes when you're losing, you try to pick up one puzzle and say, like, okay, maybe just change this and see if it's going to work for us. And I think Sheldon is just unlucky to miss out today.
अनलकी है, कैपेबल की आपने बात की, कौन है कैपेबल पंजाब किंग्स के लिए? आज एक चेंज है, रबाडा अवेलेबल थे, रबाडा स्ट्रेट अवे प्लेइंग 11 में आया है, कितना बड़ा वो उनको बूस्ट कर सकता है, ना केवल बॉलिंग में भी, बल्कि बैटिंग में भी थोड़े लंबे-लंबे हिट्स करते हैं। संदीप शर्मा आज बाहर हैं, उनकी जगह पे आए हैं। कैसे आप इस स्क्वाड को देखते हैं प्रांतिक?
No, Bilkul, I think Rabada, like I think as Veda mentioned, especially given, I'm hoping that Venkatesh Iyer comes back strongly, but I think overall it will be a great, great contest. What I'm looking forward to is again how Russell, who are they going to bowl against Russell? I think I'm looking for the mini battle, Russell versus Smith, Russell
स्मिथ, या
versus Rabada could be very, very interesting. I think these are the mini contests that I think will make a big, big difference. So I think Rabada's addition here, but again, he's just come out of quarantine. Let's see, hopefully he warms up well. But I think I would back KKR. I'm hoping today KKR, again, the good thing is that KKR is going to bowl first. I think I'm happy with that decision. And I think I want to see how the KKR spinners, how are they utilized and how well they bowl. Because they're obviously on good form. Death bowling KKR obviously has been a bit of a concern. But I think good to see Rabada back. But I mean, I'm also very, very pleased, as Jajit also said, just the way RCB kind of, kind of went through that innings. There was no one big mega score, 30s, 40s, 50s, but each of them clearly, played ki yaar, boundaries marne hain, chakke marne hain, and we have to score at a strike rate of more than 120. I think there seems to be a very good plan, and let's see if batting chasing 205, but when you're batting first, can you set a big target? Let's see what happens.
Before you continue, I just want to say, like, how Prantik, you're talking so nice things about Punjab, and suddenly you're like, I hope KKR wins, and you talk nice things about
पहले तो पहले तो ये बता दें कितने केकेआर के वोट जा रहे हैं, कितने फैन्स हैं, कितने पंजाब के फैन्स हैं?
how hard you're forcing yourself to be on KKR side. It's like heart and
Yes,
mind. Your brain is telling Punjab today.
absolutely. Like I said, I think you're spot on, Veda, heart and mind. I think my mind is definitely saying Punjab is stronger, but heart, I mean, it's early days in the tournament. Heart is going to back KKR for sure.
ईडन गार्डन में बैठे हैं जॉयदीप, आपके पास आऊंगी। श्रेयस अय्यर न्यू
हाँ
कैप्टन, जिनकी मैकलन ने भी बहुत तारीफ की है कैप्टनसी उनकी आउटस्टैंडिंग रही है। वो 128 ऑलमोस्ट डिफेंड कर ही लिया था। अगर वरुण चक्रवर्ती का वो ओवर अच्छा जाता तो शायद कहानी कुछ और होती, लेकिन श्रेयस अय्यर द बैटर थोड़े फीके नजर आए हैं अब तक 2 मैचेस में। क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं उनसे?
सी आपने एकदम सही कहा बिकॉज इसका पहले जब वो दिल्ली में कप्तान बना था दैट्स बिकॉज ऋषभ पंत गॉट इंजर्ड सो इट वाज केम एंड फेल ऑन हिज लैप एंड ही डिड इट नाउ ही हैज left his franchise gone and said I'll only play as captain and that itself has got in a lot of expectations I mean pressure is a better word is expectation which is expected so he's thinking I have actually left Delhi because Delhi में ऋषभ पंत बोला बिना कप्तान का नहीं खेलूंगा श्रेयस अय्यर बिना कप्तान का नहीं खेलूंगा somebody had to go and it was in this case Shreyas Iyer had to go. Now Kolkata have put all their eggs in his basket and said, "Okay, you are the one who's going through." I don't think Kolkata has been able to make as complete a team as they've had in the past. I think the 2012 team and 14 teams were all around better teams. And the only reason that KKR won those 2 years was Sunil Narayan, because I was in KKR before Sunil Narayan came, and I was in KKR after Sunil Narayan came, and especially on those wickets in Kolkata at the time when he was unplayable. Plus, he's had some action issues and all, but before that, he was actually unplayable. Since then, he's had action issues. He's gone for remedial. He's gone and fixed his action, come back, remodeled his action. We all know as cricketers, that's not easy. Once you remodel your action, you're not the same bowler. Most of them don't remain the same bowler. But he still held his own, which is why I think his potency as a bowler has come down as far as wickets is concerned, but he still keeps the runs down. So before, what would be 4-16-3 is now 4-16-0 or 1. So he doesn't take as many wickets as he used to, but he still he's got the mystery bit about him. So with Shreyas Iyer, the fact that, now he's thinking, yaar, pehle match to jeet gaya, fir hum haar gaye. Now it's about me. I'm also not scoring runs. So suddenly he will be thinking more than he's ever done. Because captaining an IPL team is almost like captaining a country team. Captaining a state side or first class side is different. You're answerable to about 200 people. Here you're answerable to 2 million people who are following you all over. And KKR, with all the glitz and the glamour and the extra following that they have because of obvious reasons, so he will feel the pressure. And it's easier said than done. But as a captain, you have to forget you're a captain. But we all know it's easier said than done.
एब्सोल्युटली। और वैसे भी आईपीएल एक फेस्टिवल है, इसमें अलग से प्रेशर आता ही आता है, पूरी कंट्री साथ होती है, पूरा वर्ल्ड साथ में होता है। लेकिन बेटा, इसी में से ना एक क्वेश्चन मेरे ध्यान में आया है कि सुनील नारायण की बहुत तारीफ करते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा डिपेंडेंट भी हैं केकेआर सुनील नारायण पे, जैसे कि जयदीप ने कहा अनप्लेबल थे और ऐसा लगता है कि उनके 4 ओवर में वो काफ़ी बैंक करते हैं। कई बार ये ओवर डिपेंडेंसी बैकफायर भी कर सकती है, अगर वो नहीं चले तो?
No, I don't think so. There's over dependency considering, they have someone like Varun Chakravarti in the last couple of years who's doing a tremendous job. So it is not just Sunil Narayan like how it used to be before. But at the same time, I like how they work in tandem. I think Kolkata is the only team, if you see in the entire, franchisee or all 10 teams, if you put together, this is the only team who plays with two mystery spinners and who can actually bowl in tandem. लाइक ऐसा नहीं है कि एक डाल रहा है तो एक को बचा के रखो, बाद में डलवाएंगे. They attack together. So that is a unique thing what KKR has brought in the last couple of years. And with all of this thing, we also know for the fact, those 8 overs are so crucial. Varun Chakravarti was not as effective as he could be in the last game, but Sunil Narayan actually made the game for them. Those 4 overs what he bowled was amazing. And now franchises also know, like, okay, his 4 overs, let's not give him wickets. Let's try and, knock him around for ones and twos. And if he bowls a bad ball, we can obviously cash in on it. Then we'll look at it, as the next 16 overs. And in fact, if Varun Chakravarti does the same thing, then it becomes 8 over. So most certainly it has always been that 8 overs, which is like a banker for KKR. They can fall back to them. And they are the only spinners who bowl even in the death. We don't see finger spinners bowling in the death overs, but these two have done that job. So I don't see over dependence on it, considering there is someone taking the similar load. But at the same time, him being retained and all of that thing, I think I kind of is pretty cool when it comes to how he looks about his cricket and all of that. I think he kind of likes it. He kind of likes that importance given by the franchise to him.
On that, Veda makes a great point, because see, when you have Sunil Narayan alone, then there was the Shakib, the Iqbal Abdullah, the Yusuf Pathan who'd come and bowl a bit. Right now, you've got 2 of them. They bowl in tandem together. So even if the other team is saying, okay, we play 8 overs, 6 runs, 48 runs, then you've got 8 overs to 48. So then you have to worry about your other 12 overs.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a big plus point. And sometimes what happened with Sunil was, back in the day, he would get into the mind of the batters. So the batters would be discussing, Sunil Narayan 14 dalega or 17 dalega, to hum 13 pe chance lete hain. And then somebody else would come and pick up wickets because they know Sunil Narayan's got 2 left. So it's not what he did, but also what he would do not bowling. Knowing that he's got 2 left. And you can't take more than 6 against him. So you try to take 12 against Shakib, which is too much. And then Shakib ends up getting 2. Or Iqbal Abdullah ends up getting 2. So it's not always, but in that case now, there are 2 of them, like Veda said, in tandem. So you're really in the head because here, Ian Dalega and Mystery and the wrist spinners. These are the 2 spinners. I know this will make Rima very happy. It's the wrist spinners.
I totally
and the
agree.
Yes, these are the 2 spinners. Otherwise, all the other spinners, why the best spinners in the world? Why is Nathan Lyon not here? It's not about finger spinners here. It's about wrist spinner, and it's about Ashwin is local. He can bat. He can bowl a lot of balls. So he's the only finger spinner playing. Otherwise, rest of them are all all-rounders, including Ravindra Jadeja. You won't find an out-and-out spinner like a Shahbaz Nadeem playing. He's not as good as he is. Because the role of finger spinner from white ball cricket is slowly moving away. It's wrist spinners and mystery spinners.
और अश्विन भी अपने स्पिन में ना एक लेग स्पिन डाल ही देते हैं, इसलिए
He
थोड़े
is
ज्यादा
also
इफेक्टिव
mystery
नजर
only.
आते हैं।
Carrom
Correct,
bowling,
He's a
mystery.
mystery only. Absolutely. So ये आपने अगर केकेआर के अगेंस्ट बैटिंग करनी है ना प्रांतिक, तो थोड़ी मैथ सीख के आनी पड़ेगी कि अगर कौन सा ओवर, जैसे कि जॉयदीप ने बोला स्पॉट ऑन थे कि भाई कैलकुलेट कर लो कि कब कब वो आ सकते हैं। और धोनी के अगेंस्ट उन्होंने बॉलिंग की थी, धोनी भी समझ के खेल रहे थे, कोई रिस्क नहीं लिया, आराम से निकाल दिया बॉल, लेकिन उसके बाद धोनी का बल्ला चला था। लेकिन वापस आते हैं केकेआर पे, 8 ओवर्स की बात हो गई है, मिस्ट्री स्पिनर और साथ में आप नारायण को जोड़ दीजिए। लेकिन पावर प्ले में जो बॉलिंग इस टाइम उमेश यादव कर रहे हैं, आई मीन 49 विकेट्स वो ले चुके हैं पावर प्ले में, और इससे पहले ज्यादा जिसने लिया वो सिर्फ जाहिर खान थे, संदीप शर्मा थे, भुवनेश्वर कुमार थे। चौथे ऐसे बॉलर हैं जिनका 49 विकेट्स हैं और अभी उनके पास फॉर्म भी है, तो आज वो जलवे देखने को मिल सकते हैं। वानखेड़े में पहले बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं।
No, bilkul. I think, it's been the start. I think I was reading somewhere कि it's been the, fantastic start for the Yadavs. I think आप कहीं भी किसी भी
यादव
यादव को देख लो, I think they've all played so well. But Umesh को, what touched my heart was when he won that Player of the Match award. I think you could see that, कहीं ना कहीं दिल पे चोट लगी थी कि यार emotions है कि, it's been so long, and he's been such a great servant for Indian cricket across formats. And I mean, stellar performance, in both the games. And I really, really hope we're bowling first. It'll be good to see against a very top class, top order. Again, I'm sure Veda will point out that I'm trying to justify here, but he will be bowling against two very strong openers.
You are bowling first. You are.
I'm saying he'll be bowling. We are bowling first against two top class international batsmen जो open करेंगे. But I think I'm hoping Umesh knows the tricks. He's obviously bowled to these folks in the nets. अगर उमेश का जादू चल गया, I mean, we really, really have to get them below 180. Hoping so that KKR can do that. उसमें वो मिस्ट्री और रिस्क के अलावा उमेश का जादू भी बहुत जरूरी है।
जी हाँ, यादव जी का अगर जादू चल गया तो मिस्ट्री स्पिनर थोड़ा खुल के और बॉलिंग कर सकते हैं। लेकिन ये एक तरह से कह सकते हैं जयदीप की वर्ल्ड कप से पहले का ऑडिशन है, स्पेशली उमेश यादव के लिए, क्योंकि बहुत बड़ा मौका है। अगर इसी तरह से टूर्नामेंट देखिए बहुत लंबा है, आई होप कि इंजरी फ्री रहे, लेकिन जिस रिदम में वो भी बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं, सो एक कंटेंडर हो सकते हैं फास्ट बॉलिंग में।
Zarur, imagine not only Indian players, I think even the players who are playing from abroad, even they can hold their case. Suddenly a new Australian comes over here, gets 570 runs and 12 wickets, he's in the fray, because this is the best T20 league in the world, and if you can hold your own here, you can hold everywhere. So Umesh ke liye acha thing is, it's green, they're winning tosses, he's bowling first half, so things are falling for him. In the second half, he was bowling with a wet ball slightly, the freshening of the wicket is gone. So it's possible, but right now in the first game, he came out all guns firing. And when the ball swings, Umesh is always a handful. The issues happen when the ball does not swing, which can often be the case. You go to some venues where the ball doesn't swing. Then what does Umesh do? Sami still has something. Bumrah still has something. So Umesh is more of a test match length bowler. So if that ball doesn't swing, he feels a little bit, his ammunition is a little bit diminished. But once the ball swings, and we saw the way he got Virat, the way he got Faf, okay, to the outswinger. Once that outswinger gets working, even Shami with that outswinger gets working, it can be difficult for any batsman.
बेटा थोड़ी बात पंजाब की करते हैं। पिछला मैच में 205 उन्होंने चेज किया था अगेंस्ट आरसीबी। सो उसमें जो गेम चेंजर थे ना वो थे स्मिथ। वो यहाँ पे कितने इफेक्टिव हो सकते हैं बेटा? आरसीबी दोनों में शामिल थी, केकेआर के हार के लिए भी आरसीबी और पंजाब के सामने जीत के लिए भी आरसीबी। तो स्मिथ का कितना बड़ा रोल रहने वाला है?
Actually, RCB kind of were prepared for Odeon Smith smashing spinners, and he was not that comfortable playing pacers. He was more of a leg side player. His range was one side of the wicket. I think RCB got pretty surprised when he started hitting over covers and over mid off, and especially that short ball hitting straight down the ground for a six. I think these things were something which we did not expect Odeon Smith to come up with. We did watch him in the series. He kind of struggled for the length balls. And I think somewhere down the line, they prepared for something else, and Odeon Smith came up with a complete different syllabus on the field. But I'm sure now all the teams will be aware that how impactful he can be, because there was a lot of question. Maybe Odeon Smith is gone for so much money only because of those couple of sixes he hit against Kuldeep Yadav or whoever in that T20
बॉलिंग भी
series.
काफी तेज करते हैं वेदा, उनके पास स्पीड है। शायद वो लेंथ उस दिन अच्छी नहीं मिली, लेकिन उनको बैक करना पड़ेगा।
No, speed है, but he was erratic. He
Erratic.
did get wickets,
That's true.
but he was erratic. So the Odean Smith, what we saw in that West Indies series, and the Odean Smith, what we're seeing now, is someone who's got a lot more confident. I feel the kind of money he went for in the auction, he kind of felt more welcome in the team, and it was pretty much sure that if they're going for that much money, like they value you as a cricketer, they're looking at you as a potential match winner. I think that signal how the player takes, some people might take it as like pressure, like got so much money, now we need to pressure, like we're under pressure. But I think Odean Smith and West Indies have this cool attitude towards going into this franchisee league, and they kind of enjoy the fact that they're getting the importance, and they like that show, and to be there in the middle and do things. So what Odean Smith did that day was amazing. Like those kind of shots we've only seen probably a Pollard hit or a Russell hit. So it is like proper West Indian flavor what he's bringing. And I think if he gets going like this, with Shah Rukh Khan and Odean Smith being the finisher for Punjab Kings, I think that is massive. That 18 crores what they spent in auction is, they're going to make sure that they pay it back every run. And wickets they take, wickets Odean Smith take, but this 18 crores what Shah Rukh Khan and Odean Smith is, I think that finisher role is kind of sorted for them.
पावर हिटर्स को बैक किया था, उनका जो बाय था वो अभी तक पे ऑफ कर रहा है, लेकिन प्रांतिक ओडन की बैटिंग पे जाएं, स्मिथ की हवा में शॉट खेले थे, लेकिन सेफ शॉट खेले थे। सबसे सेफ शॉट होता है ना, क्योंकि हवा में फिल्टर तो होता नहीं, फिल्टर तो नीचे थे, और बड़े लंबे लंबे छक्के मारे। तो आपने उस दिन जहां भी मारा था वो गेम चेंजर था। उनकी उस इनिंग की वजह से वो मैच विनिंग नॉक बने, प्लेयर ऑफ द मैच भी बने। जब ऐसी फॉर्म आपके पास आती है तो आपको पता है आपका रोल क्या है, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो जस्टिफाई भी किया था उन्होंने।
No, bilkul. I mean, as Veda is saying, I saw him probably for the first time with Dubai wale T10 tournament. I mean, he's pretty modeled his game after something like a I'm really looking forward to our Smith wala contest that I mentioned. I mean, Odean is priceless. I mean, that 9 crore value, I mean, phenomenal. I think both bat, ball, and it's great to watch. Obviously, the fact that Veda mentioned he was hitting on the offside as well. So I'm just hoping heart of hearts ki agar early starting में chance मिले KKR को catch ना drop करे. I'm just hoping we don't drop Odean Smith's any chance.
Two mystery spinners.
Yeah.
Two mystery spinners will have.
Not to forget, Odean Smith is very intimidating on the field, though.
He could be.
वेस्ट इंडियन है, वो एंजॉय करेंगे, हर फील्ड में एंजॉय करेंगे।
He's going to tear apart the ball when he's batting.
He will be out in the infield.
But remember, he might be facing.
ऊपर चढ़ जाएगा, आउटफील्ड तक नहीं जाएगा, 30th
आउटफील्ड क्या तो स्टेडियम के बाहर ही है।
हाँ, स्टेडियम के बाहर। My prediction is caught Venkatesh and bowl Sunil Narayan. I'm backing a nice Kaya.
चलो,
Venkatesh
यहाँ सुनील नारायण को विकेट मिल चुकी है बेटा।
But the way he was hitting, the way he was hitting, spectators will be doing some fielding practice before going to watch the game. Yesterday, did you see that lady got hit on the head? Did you see that lady getting hit on the head yesterday?
That was crazy. That was very scary.
And she was fine. What a tough lady.
I think she
उन्होंने एक हाथ से कैच करने की कोशिश की थी, बेटा थोड़ी टेक्निक सिखानी पड़ेगी, ये बेटर था।
आप प्लीज जाइए, सिखाइए। And after 2 balls they showed her and everybody else came and said, "Are you okay? No, fine. Just a cricket ball."
यही तो आईपीएल का मजा है कि वो नेक्स्ट बॉल मिस ही नहीं करना चाहती थी, यही तो हम चाहते हैं, देखना चाहते हैं। तो अभी प्रेडिक्शन पे आते हैं। एक प्रेडिक्शन आ चुकी है प्रांतिक से कि भाई सुनील नारायण को एक विकेट तो मिल जाएगी, वो भी स्मिथ की। प्रेडिक्शन कर लेते हैं आपसे जयदीप, स्कोर, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है प्राइसलेस होने वाला है टॉस, स्पेशली वानखेड़े में ड्यू फैक्टर डेफिनेटली आने वाला है। प्रेडिक्शन स्कोर पंजाब का क्या रह सकता है?
180.
180
chase down easily.
चलो, एक ने केकेआर को विकेट दिलवा दी, दूसरे ने केकेआर को जिता दिया। वेदा जी, पंजाब के लिए कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
I'm going to say 200 and Punjab will defend it.
Punjab will defend it.
Who
will be the game changer?
How much?
One day I will have to back RCB to be in the same side as Veda. One day I'll have to back RCB.
थोड़ी सेटिंग बिठानी पड़ेगी ताकि अगले मैच में वेदा केकेआर को सपोर्ट करे। सेटिंग थोड़ी सी बिठानी पड़ेगी। गेम चेंजर, एक प्लेयर प्रेडिक्ट करते हैं जाने से पहले।
जैसे आपने बैठाया था कल, जैसे आपने कल बिठाया था।
अगले मैच में मेरे को आरसीबी की टी-शर्ट पहन के बैठना है, मेरे को सपोर्ट चाहिए सीएसके के लिए। सो अभी प्रांतिक आप पे आते हैं, गेम चेंजर आज के दिन में पंजाब के लिए कौन हो सकता है? प्रेडिक्शन
पंजाब के लिए अच्छा, पंजाब के लिए शाहरुख खान।
शाहरुख खान पंजाब के लिए, क्योंकि केकेआर को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं जॉयदीप, पंजाब के लिए आप भी अपना गेम चेंजर
I'm
बता दीजिए।
telling you, he wants
Shikhar
Punjab
Dhawan.
to win. I'm
शिखर
telling
Shikhar
धवन,
you,
Dhawan.
he wants
शिखर धवन,
Punjab to
शाहरुख
win.
खान, वेदा, आप सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं पंजाब को, गेम चेंजर बताइए केकेआर के लिए।
Oh my God, for KKR.
So many choices, Veda. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
I
why
don't
she's taking
know what to
time.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, all 11, all 11, all 11. Pick
All.
anybody.
वेदा आज ही बताना मैच से पहले।
बस सुनील नारायण, मैं सोच रही थी यार
सुनील।
किसको बोलूं।
See,
चलिए,
see, all 11 का choice था, इसीलिए she had to decide.
Means
दूसरे दिन में
you
आरसीबी में
also know
RC
all 11 is not a choice. This is too much.
आरसीबी
This is
आरसीबी
too
में तो
much.
तीन आरसीबी में तीन रहता है, इसीलिए it doesn't take much time. But KKR में time लगा because
This is
आठ
too much.
choices है.
You also know
ये
that this
ये
is
ये
too
ये
much.
बैटल तो चलता रहेगा, चलते हैं सीधा वानखेड़े, वहां पे बैटल क्या रहता है और देखते हैं करबो लड़बो जीतबो रे या साडा पंजाब। मिलते हैं पोस्ट मैच, टिल देन फास्टन योर सीट बेल्ट, इंटरेस्टिंग मैच होने वाला है।
All
Enjoy the
right.
match.
Korbo Lorbo Jeet Bode.
साडा
Enjoy.
पंजाब।
Shut up, Punjab.
Enjoy the match
KKR.
guys।
Absolutely.